this is John Colo with DiscountJuicers.com. Today I have a special treat for you. Today we're going to compare dehydrators. Here at Discount Juicers we not only sell juicers, but we sell other appliances that allow you to eat more fresh fruits and vegetables in your diet so you can be healthier. So dehydrators let you do just that. And what dehydrators do is literally take the water out of foods to preserve food. So, they found dried foods in the tombs in Egypt. And so even in the olden days, they would dry foods and, they would sun dry it. With advanced technology now, we have dehydrators, so you don't need to dehydrate in the sun. You can dehydrate in the winter or any time in the comfort of your own home. So we have two different dehydrators here today. We have the well-known Excalibur brand dehydrator, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. And we have over here just a regular department store dehydrator. So I first want to explain the difference between the dehydrators. I think it's very important. When you're buying a dehydrator, you're making an investment in your health, because when you buy a dehydrator, you're going to be able to dehydrate fresh fruits and vegetables and get more fresh fruits and vegetables in your diet, and that's really important. So the Excalibur dehydrator is a good dehydrator because it has a couple unique features that no other dehydrator has. It has basically parallel airflow. So the airflow is running parallel versus the the airflow on this unit is running vertical. So parallel or horizontal. It has a fan, so it keeps constant temperature. The temperature stays constant more so than when the heat rises in this dehydrator. So with this style dehydrator, number one is it doesn't have an adjustable thermostat. Whereas if we look over here at the Excalibur, it has an adjustable thermostat. You could adjust the thermostat from 85 degrees all the way up to 155 degrees. So that's really good. And if you're into raw and living foods, you want to set your dehydrator approximately 118 degrees or lower than that. And there's a reason for that, because the enzymes, basically start to degrade and lose their life at 118 degrees. And with this style dehydrator, most of these round style dehydrators do not actually have a thermostat. And so that's another problem. They probably run too hot. So let's check that right now. I have a handy dandy infrared thermometer. So this is a non-contact thermometer. I love this little tool. We'll go ahead and take this off. Now I can smell this, and this smells like it's burning. This is the heating element. The other thing about this dehydrator is that it has no fan. So basically air convection just goes and puts the temperature up and the heat rises, and that's how this one works. So it's going to work a lot slower. Probably going to cost you more in electricity to run it. So we're going to press this button, and we're going to put the temperature right there. And I don't know if you can see that on camera, man. It's 162, 150. It's fluctuating. There it is. If you can see that, 165.1. So if you're into raw foods, you're definitely not going to want to purchase this round style dehydrator. So as the heat rises, it gets a little bit cooler. And so you're going to have uneven drying, which means you're going to have to rotate the trays. So, you have things on the bottom tray are going to dry faster. Things on the top tray are not going to dry as fast. You're going to have to take this top tray and then, put it on the bottom tray and rotate the trays. The other thing about this is that it's a circular tray and there's a hole in the middle, so you lose some of the space. How loud is the dehydrator? Well, you know what? There's a fan in the Excalibur dehydrator so that you get, faster and even drying. And let's go ahead and turn it on now. It's quiet in the room. I'll stop talking, and you can hear how loud it is. So now the dehydrator's on. You kind of heard it for a minute. I'll go ahead and take off the front door. And now it's a little bit louder with the front door off, so you can kind of hear that. And now let me just talk about this front door. So many people buy this, and then they think, oh, the front door isn't right. It doesn't work right. I mean, this door is kind of loose. I mean, it sits on here kind of loose, and it's designed like that because basically the fan pulls in air from the back. There's a heating element in the back. It heats up the air and it blows the air forward. And as the air is blowing forward, it basically sucks off the moisture, blows off the moisture, and the moisture needs to come out of the dehydrator. If the dehydrator was fully sealed, the moisture would just stay in the dehydrator and your food would never dehydrate. So this just basically hangs on. There's two tabs on the door that actually it just sits on like that. So it's really simple. And once you open up the dehydrator, you're going to see here there's 9 trays, and these are FDA trays, and you get the mesh insert. So this is a mesh insert. This is included with the dehydrator purchase, and you also get these trays. Now these trays are really flexible and really strong. So I mean, I wouldn't recommend doing on that. You break it. Look at this. The PrimaFlex sheets, these are non-stick sheets. So these are good if you're using liquids or things that would normally fall through the mesh sheets there. So let's go ahead and show you how to prepare foods for dehydrating. I most often like to dehydrate tomatoes. So I have a garden and I grow my own tomatoes and I have an abundance of tomatoes. So when you're cutting tomatoes to put in the dehydrator, basically, you know, this is standard tomato. You're going to cut them in about a 1/4 inch thickness or less. The thicker your slice, the longer it's going to take to dehydrate. So the dehydration time depends on 2 factors. It depends on time and temperature. So if you have a hotter temperature, it's going to take less time. And if you have a lower temperature, it's going to take more time. So we're just going to stack them up on the tray. So the Teflex sheets are not needed for when you're cutting up using tomatoes, in my opinion. Next thing, I have some cherry tomatoes here, and I grow a lot of cherry tomatoes. They're easier to grow, in my opinion, than big tomatoes. And many times I'll just literally cut the cherry tomato in half and put that on there like that. A bigger cherry tomato, I may cut it into thirds. Put them on that, so that will make sun-dried tomatoes. I don't know if you've seen lately, but you know, dehydrated apples or apple rings in the store, they're like $10 a pound. You could make your own with the Excalibur dehydrator. Once again, I like to usually core the apple. This time we didn't. And then you're just going to cut them into basically slices, once again, a 1/4 inch thickness or less. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but you know, this will give you dehydrated apples. Now, you know, making this kind of stuff, dehydrated fruits, are great for, you know, Christmas gifts. You could also dehydrate flowers. So dehydrated flowers work really well to make, you know, floral arrangements. So we see we just cut up the apples and we literally just put the apples on the tray like that. So each tray on this Excalibur 9-tray dehydrator is approximately 14 by 14 inches, the area that is actually usable. Here's a pear here, and there's something else that's popular to dehydrate. Literally, once again, you know, it's so easy. You could just slice the pear 1/4 inch thin slices or less. Dehydrated pears are nice and really good. You can dehydrate grapes. You can put them in whole, or I like to half them so they'll dry faster, and you make your own raisins. And we just slide that into the dehydrator. Now you can mix things in the dehydrator when you're dehydrating, it's not a problem. One of the other things I like to dehydrate is bananas. Bananas in the store have been basically fried in oil. And if you want to figure this out, you know, take a banana chip and put in a napkin and squeeze it, and you'll see the oil condensation come out. So you can make your own banana chips, you know, by using organic or even regular conventional bananas. And what I like to do is basically you peel the banana. And you can do this a couple ways. You can literally peel the banana and make whole banana if you cut it in half and set that on the tray. That'll make, you know, they have whole dried banana now at different health food stores, and that usually runs $10 a pound. But you can make your own. Same thing as, you know, you could just literally cut banana chips. Cut your own banana chips. It's really easy. And then you're going to put that on the tray. And then just put that into the dehydrator. The last thing I want to show you today is something really popular that a lot of people into raw foods like to make, and that's Flax Crackers. You're going to use the PrimaFlex sheet, the non-stick sheet, and what you're going to do is you're going to soak flax seeds overnight. So I soaked these overnight. And as you can see, it's not going to fall out. They're really stuck together. So this is 100% flax. You could do flax, and you could, you know, mix in some herbs and spices, some tomatoes, some basil, and literally all you do is you take a spatula and you spatula it out. And once again, you know, you don't want to make it too thick. You want to make it pretty thin. And you're just going to spatula it out on the tray. Try to keep it all connected. And what you could do once you have this done like that is you could, you know, take it and, you know, mark it out. So when it's done, it'll be already basically pre-made into nice sized chips. The magic of video, you can see here, this is what's going to come out. You're going to have some Flax Crackers come out, and this is what it looks like. Oftentimes I like to use some fresh soaked flax, and then also maybe use some flax powder added in. What is the difference between the Excalibur 2900 and 3900 Dehydrator? So the Excalibur 2900 and 3900 are identical. They look identical on the outside, but the inside is where the difference is. The 3900 basically has upgraded parts. So it has an upgraded thermostat, an upgraded heating element, an upgraded motor, and basically it's designed to last a lot longer. And Excalibur is backing this up by including a 10-year warranty with the 3900 model. Now they only include a 5-year warranty on the 2900 model, which is still really, really long. So this is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Be sure to visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for our YouTube visitors.